Really consistent, which is important here at Atlanta. It doesn't fall off real bad, so I'm looking forward to today.
And Ray, Eric has a new teammate here this weekend at Atlanta.
Yeah, and 4 wins in this racetrack for Billy Ballou Motorsports overall. Stephen Wallace, how you liking truck racing?
I feel like we got a fast red top auto action Toyota Tundra here. We're gonna do our best here to try and get this pole.
All right, so Stephen Wallace climbing in and getting ready to go to the racetrack. First time ever in a Camping World truck.
He's going for the pole, baby.
I was going to say, how about that attitude?
I like that
First
attitude.
ever truck race, and he said, we're going to go for the pole.
This, you remember, Phil, yesterday we talked about Matt Crafton when he was on his qualifying run late in practice. He was drafting, and we heard how important Eric Almirola feels like the draft is going to be in this race this afternoon, and we believe that Crafton got a lot of speed out of that draft he was running in the practice session yesterday. Ran a 31 flat. Out there by himself, only 31.30. So that's why Matt was so fast yesterday and maybe fell off some this morning.
And that makes me think that maybe that time will not hold up for the pole. Maybe a Kevin Harvick or maybe a Ron Hornaday might have a shot at knocking him off that pole. Yeah, maybe even a Stephen Wallace.
Yeah, I think you're right. I believe that pole's, like we said earlier, I believe that pole's going to be on down around that 31-second flat range.
That's Norm Benning in the number 57, the red truck, looking for sponsorship so that he can run the entire season.
Race starts, they're going to go everywhere when they get to the corner. If somebody's low, they'll just go high.
And remember, there was a little bit of history between those two guys late last year, Kevin Harvick and Matt Crafton.
They couldn't seem to get on the same page, could
they? And we've you got to tell the story a little bit further. I mean, Kevin Harvick obviously is the owner of Kevin Harvick Incorporated, owns the truck that Ron Hornaday drives, and Ron Hornaday, Matt Crafton in a very tight points battle, and so Kevin Harvick just likes to maybe get in the head of his competitors a little bit.
Well, it stemmed back to, was it Gateway when Matt ran in the back of Ron Hornaday, yes, and actually put Ron into the wall, and then Todd Bonine, actually that same race, yes, Matt Crafton and Todd got together and Todd crashed. But then was it Loudon we went to, and Kevin and Matt were running on the racetrack together, and they kind of ran into each other. And
well, Kevin wouldn't let Matt out onto the track for the longest time. He stayed in front of him, and
it was fun. It was good, all in good fun for us.
Yeah.
For those of us watching.
Depending on where you were sitting, how much fun it was. I bet you Matt wasn't so thrilled by it all.
On the racetrack, 57-year-old Butch Miller. Now, for his qualifying effort, he was 15th quick on lap number 1. We'll see how he does on 2.
Butch has credit for winning the closest finish ever in the history of the Camping World Truck Series. And
it was in Colorado, I believe.
It was Colorado National Speedway, I believe, and they claim it's 1/1000th of a second, but I think that was really before we had the electronic scoring, and it was very, very close, and we're going to go with that.
and at that point, we'll move on. And speaking of moving on, Butch Miller will hold on to the 15th.
And about half the whole NASCAR drivers in the race this weekend all lined up along pit road watching those guys battle in the modifieds.
Jason White on the racetrack now. He won the pole for our first race this year back at Daytona.
Had a great run, top 5 finish for Jay White.
Let's go back trackside to AA.
Kevin Harvick just missed going to the top of the board. You leave anything out there, Kevin?
Oh, no, they've made these things so easy to drive here that anybody can go during qualifying. It's like being in Daytona. So our Easy Go Chevrolet has been really good in race trim, and hopefully we'll have a good day and we'll race them hard.
Thanks.
Adam, I'm not sure he's talking about you and I. Maybe guys like Phil and Michael could do it. When he says anybody, I'm not so sure you can keep the foot on the gas pedal all the way around at 190 miles an hour and then decide, oh, I'm going to turn left here.
Well, you probably could if your leg would let you, but you have, your brain is going to say, hey, you're not supposed to do this.
Now, your brain is sense. Do I have a lot of common sense?
Well,
is that why that
I wouldn't say you had a lot of common sense, but I would say you have some.
Gunbroker.com, number 23 across the stripe for the second time, and slows down just a bit, 31.678.
In the 7th position, Todd Bodine, you're the king of the mile and a halves. How do you feel about today?
I think we got a good truck. We knew we weren't going to qualify in the pole or anything, but it races good. It was really good on the old tires. Goodyear did a great job bringing a different tire for us to run, and the tire seems to run longer without getting out of control like you normally do at Atlanta. You start slipping and sliding and really hanging on, and this tire really stays with the truck really good. But we're going to have a good day because last night at 11:48 we brought a new nephew into the world, Colton Bryce. Hi, Timmy and Stacy. We'll see you in a couple days.
The Bodine family with plenty to celebrate these days, Ray.
And Adam, down on my end, how about this for a souvenir from Vancouver? Pretty nice to have a hat, but even better to have a gold medal. Jeff, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, Ray. Yeah, it really feels great to be a part of that gold medal. Our bobsledders won up in Vancouver. Actually, some of the athletes are here, so that's really cool.
We're going to see them on the setup today, and guys, about $50,000 a piece to put into each of these sleds, and Jeff's work has brought the team about 8 or 9 brand new pieces of equipment. That's what sent them to the gold.
We should start selling our sleds to Russia.
We're hearing people actually do want to buy.
Adam?
And Brad Sweet, one of the drivers that has to qualify in on time. You've made your qualifying run. Your thoughts?
Well, we were a little tight. You know, we were a little slower than we were in practice. I don't really know why. I don't know if it's temperatures or what, but we went about 3 or 4 tenths slower. But we're in the show now. We'll just work on our truck here. Trip Bruce and Great Clips and Doug Stringer. You know, we brought a pretty good package. We unloaded really quick yesterday, and you know, we'll see what we got for the race.
Brad learned a lot in practice yesterday. It'll be fun to watch him grow during the race later this afternoon.
So Brad Sweet is locked in. Jeff Bodine in his first lap locks himself in. 31.679 for Bodine.
What about if he could just pick up 2 tenths, he'd go all the way to the top 5. That's how he's 14. He'd go all the way to the top 5 with a 210 pickup. And you know that truck was fast yesterday, so he's got it in it.
Another tenth will be top 10, all the way to 6th.
Almost top 5 for Jeff Bodine. 6 quick.
Series did not make the race, but what a great run for Team Gill Motorsports and the Bodine bobsled project.
Sitting around watching those bobsleds, he was itching to get in something, wasn't he? He took advantage of his opportunity too.
Now the guys that are going now need to outrun Ryan Hackett to lock themselves in. His time is 32.012. So that's the mark that these guys are shooting for to make sure they race today.
Yeah, you know that means they got to get within 7 tenths of our pole. I mean, that's how
really
competitive this field is today. Truck's got a great attitude.
What a great attitude this driver has.
And
Dennis
that driver has exactly that.
One of the
Dennis.
nicest guys that's ever been in our sport right here, Dennis Setzer. 3-time runner-up in the Camping World Truck Series.
Dennis Setzer, he's been on the pole 8 different times in his career, and now 17th quick, and that locks him in to today's show. 31.828 for Dennis Setzer on lap 1. So that means both of Danny Gill's trucks will be in the show today.
You know, and if we went to, if you and I went to Martinsville and we had anything that we could put him in, we'd feel like we could win the darn race.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And he's
the pace car, maybe.
Yeah, he's great everywhere. He's won on mile and a half. See, he ran in the top 5 last week or a couple weeks ago at Daytona. He's great everywhere. But at Martinsville, he's extraordinary. He's just better than everybody else there.
The master when it comes to Martinsville. His second.
Handle him a little better. So the boss is going to be tough. I know his truck was really fast in practice, and we made some good changes. So we'll see what we got for the race.
Good luck, Ron.
Thank you.
How about a couple of trucks on top of the board that had to qualify in on time? Go or go home trucks, and they're setting up there on the front row. And they're not, you know, the weather has heated up. I guess like you said earlier, Phil, once it's this cool, there really isn't much of an advantage whether you're first or last. The conditions are still very favorable to run a fast lap.
Yeah, absolutely. Chris Jones.
We got started with qualifying today, just over 40 degrees. Chris Jones on the racetrack out of Virginia, the 22-year-old.
Needs to pick it up a little bit. Right now, he's the slowest truck of the Go Homers. Picks it up, but not fast enough. He is 1/1000th of a second slower than Carl Long.
On Hornaday, Kyle Busch 1 and 2 in qualifying. Welcome back. Easy Go 200 qualifying continuing. Now on the racetrack, the 89 of Mike Harmon just off of the track. Shane Sieg in the 93 was 20th quick, so he locked himself into today's race. Now the number that Mike Harmon has to beat is held by Carl Long at 32.748. So you've got to outrun the 31st position truck at 32.748 to get into today's show.
And only 4 trucks left. Mike Harmon, Donnie Neuenberger, Brent Raymer, and Mario Goslin. So Carl Long knows that he needs to, he needs to beat obviously at least one of these trucks. Chris Jones has to beat 2 of the 4 trucks.
We got 2 trucks, Harmon here and then Donnie Neuenberger, who didn't have a whole lot of speed yesterday, so they're hanging their hat on that. But
enough to get in. Mike Harmon locks himself in with lap number 1 at 32.219. He's 28th quick.
He picked up
nice job.
Quite a lot, Bill. Over a second faster for that truck.
Wow, that's incredible.
Needed it and got it.
Went and got it.
Lap.
And right now, Mike Harmon, 1 spot below our Daytona winner, Timothy Peters.
Great job by Mike.
And now he jumped above Timothy Peters into the 27th position.
Yeah, 27th quick. Dander up too much. Gene Need.
Oh, yeah, you can.
Well, okay. He was your crew chief, wasn't he?
Yeah, oh, yeah, you can.
Back.
And Michael's last year, so, yeah.
He just looked pretty calm and cool there when talking to Adam Alexander. Now on the racetrack, Donnie Neuenberger. Again, he has to go faster than Carl Long, 32.748 to make sure he will race today.
Whoa, way high down there in that end.
Donnie was heading in a bad direction, Phil.
Yeah.
Got her gathered up, though.
He needed to be going left, and he was going right. Coming off a great finish at Daytona for Donnie Neuenberger. Finished 9th.
Top 10 finish in the first race of the year. Now we'll see if the first lap will be enough to get him into today's show. Again, with a little bit of a slide coming off turn 2. Not quick enough yet. He's going to have to pick it up quite a bit. 33.369 on lap number 1. He's got to go 32.748 to make sure he races.
Lost a tremendous amount of time down in 1 and 2.
Pick it up.
Well, he's pretty much doing all he can do.
I was going to say, I bet his foot's on the floor.
This is
didn't look quite as bad in 1 and 2 this lap, but it didn't look great.
This is Carl Long's best chance of making the race if he can hold off Neuenberger.
And he doesn't. Donnie Neuenberger goes faster, 30th quick, 32.3.